Monday, 9 days post-op, I'm going to work. And if I'm honest, I don't particularly want to. I do love my clients, I do love my job, but I'm also self-employed. So this is the nature of my job. I can't just take fucking forever off when a lot of it is still in person. So my online stuff's been absolutely fine. I've been at the laptop every day, and quite frankly, I've enjoyed it. Now I've got a MacBook. Let's just editing the videos, and it's so much better than doing it on a phone. Editing the videos, putting them together, working with clients, doing consultation calls, and just I've been busy all day every day. But I do still love training people in person, and this is the nature of being self-employed. I also have to go into work at some stage because I've got to film the obligations that are being paid for. So I'm trying to go in 9 days after the operation, which is pretty quick. My recovery has gone really quick. I'm hoping to be training by Friday. Like I said, it's Monday now. I'm hoping to be training by Friday. We'll just have to see what happens. So I've just left work. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought, and I think it's generally really helped the recovery to be moving in such a way. So I do feel better. You know, I still have to remember that I am a human being, and it was a little bit uncomfortable doing certain exercises with clients, but we didn't do anything where I had to really stretch and open up through the abdomen, so it wasn't too bad. You know, everyone's saying like don't lift anything, like clients are telling me off more so, but then don't lift anything heavy. Well, heavy is relative to the person, so me lifting like a 10 kilo plate or 20 kilo plate on and off a machine is not heavy in relation to what I can lift, so that is a big advantage. My back hurting, yeah, it's a bit uncomfortable, but then if someone didn't have strong spine erectors and a strong lower back, that again would be much more severe for that person. So me standing there is a little bit uncomfortable, but then again, whenever I train 2 or 3 clients back to back, it's always slightly uncomfortable. You do get hungry towards the end. Eventually in the day, your legs are going to start to hurt, your back does start to hurt in general, things start to tighten up. So it wasn't that much different to a normal day, apart from I've got more discomfort in the front and I'm red hot around my midsection, so I've got this corset thing on with 2 tops on, so I have to one under it and my t-shirt over it. Other than that, it wasn't that bad. It was good being in. I mean, I'm glad I was only in for 2 clients. I couldn't have done a full day, I don't think yet. I mean, they told me off for being in general, but it was still nice to be back in work, although it did feel a bit weird. Obviously, I mean, a few days ago I was still feeling very, very vulnerable, and I don't feel so vulnerable now. Still not my normal self, so slightly vulnerable, but not anything like I did where I was literally, I mean, was it Wednesday night? Last Wednesday night, Amy left me in Tesco just to go and get something from another aisle, and I just felt so vulnerable and exposed, just like leaning on the trolley. And I think it's because I'm someone who doesn't feel vulnerable. I'm someone who can defend themselves if they need to, and you know, I'm very active and mobile. So then to have that taken away or restricted, even still, I mean, as time went on, it was not fully taken away, but it's still restricted even now. It is a little bit like a fish out of water, uncomfortable sort of feeling. You know, where you're unsure how to be, because I can't really be relaxed. It's kind of still a bit awkward. I'm still walking on the gym, it's very busy. I'm trying to sort of protect the incision and not bump into anyone, even though it's not like you do that on a day-to-day basis, but that's just how I was feeling being in there. But still, like I said, happy to be back. And I'm in a good place in terms of business these days. Is not completely offline like it used to be. You know, everything was personal training. Like, so I've been doing 40 hours a week personal training. Now it's probably a third of my work. Most of my work is laptop based at home. And 2/3 of my clients are online, which puts me in a much better position to have done this right now, because it takes the pressure off to have to be back in work. Yes, I did say today I didn't necessarily have to be in, but I still went in anyway for the obligation for the clients, and I still love my job. You know, so I don't want to be off too long. I don't want to put them out, even though they're all completely understanding and telling me to take time off. I can't just sit in bed and just fucking do nothing for weeks. Like I said, I'm trying to do as much as I can when I can, which is doing work, going for walks, being in work now. Like I said, it's only maybe 2 or 3 hours I'm going to schedule each day to actually physically be in work. So it's not going to be a lot, and then that's going to really help me. And on the plus side, I'm sat in the car here and I can sit up straight. As I said, I used to have to lean back quite far because the seat was really uncomfortable with the skin as I was sort of sat upright. I had to lean back. I don't have to now, I'm sat straight. It's actually pretty comfortable sitting straight. Yeah, a lot less backache, so positives, you know. So I'm on the way to train, on the sly. I'm going, not going to work, not telling Amy. Shh. I'm on the sly. Do you know what, I'm apprehensive, I'm apprehensive. First training session, 10 days post-op. I'm walking there. I found that walking's really helped. Just generally get me moving more. There's still a lot of edema and it seems to go up and down, which worries me because that was an area that I held water retention anyway. I'm like, how much has been changed? I know lots of skin's been removed. How much actually changed? Because I hope it's fucking perfect after going through all this. As in, like, there was nothing below that line as we saw. It better be pretty much matching now. If it looks worse, I'm going to be so pissed off. So I say, I'm apprehensive about that, I'm apprehensive about this. Right now I'm going to walk, flex and tone. I didn't go to the gym. I shit my pants. Well, yeah, sort of. I'm still not myself, and I think I only went back into work yesterday. This time last week, I barely walk. Didn't get a plane till Wednesday. And even on Wednesday, when Amy left me in the supermarket to go get something, I'm like leaning on the trolley. Unable to stand up, so I'm to lean on the trolley the whole way around. And I felt very exposed and vulnerable when I could only really do this. So I just spent the entire time, I went for a walk instead. Been for a walk for like an hour and a bit. So at least got my steps for the day, and I'm gonna relax instead. But I spent the whole time trying to stand up straighter, so this lighting is shit. Fucking awful. They ripped mine out when they redid the kitchen. Not out of choice. So I've been trying to stand up straight. Fuck off. And this isn't really helping, to be fair. As I was getting a bit anxious on the way to the gym, obviously walking, and then I thought, it's still really tight, but then I've got two things on, I've got another one. I was thinking it for safety purposes, let's get this one. But there's one, the internal stitch that was causing all the pain at the start of, well, last week, whenever it was, but after the operation, that was where the majority of the pain was coming from. This side wasn't as bad. Now, that side is tight. I think that's definitely dissolved because the skin feels a little bit tight. Incision feels a little bit tight. There's literally no resistance between. A little bit, just the skin just being generally tight down here, which is normal. This side, tighter. And if I try and stand up, I've just been forcibly trying to do that the whole way around as I'm walking. And it's got a lot better, but it still feels a very sharp burning sensation here. So it's obviously the stitch still restricting the movement. By going with the video camera at peak time in the gym, when I'm already feeling a bit uncomfortable going to the gym because it's my first session back, it's not exactly going to be a very good idea, because then I feel an even bigger dick because people are going to stare at me because I'm videoing. So I'm going to try again in JD tomorrow after my client. I've got one client in the morning, then I was going to be on the computer all day. So do you know what, I'm going to be in the gym. There's no one in the gym in the daytime. I feel a lot more comfortable. And do you know what, for you guys that generally might feel a bit uncomfortable, a bit anxious in the gym at night time, I do get it at times. We all get it. I was just like that. Now, taught myself out of it as I was walking there, because there was going to be loads of people were going to stare because I was going to be videoing, and I was going to not be myself, and potentially people I know as well, and I was going to then, people who potentially would have been looking at me for real, and I didn't like the thought of it, so I didn't go. Let's try again tomorrow. Alright, let's try this again. So I'm in JD today, I feel a bit less of a dick videoing, even though I still feel a dick videoing. I'm going to go cuff lateral raises first. I'm lying down and I can flex the hips. So the aim of most of the exercises to do is keeping the hips flexed. So seat hamstring curls, abductors, adductors, leg extensions with my legs. So I'm going to hit decent angles on my legs. I can't do things like hip thrusts, I can't do deadlifts. So we should see what I can do.
that felt absolutely fine. So I'm going to go heavier. Even sitting up, I can feel it feels uncomfortable, but not painful. It's the main thing. Okay. So I've just efficiently destroyed my shoulders. When you want to read out, Mark in fact just walked into the machine while setting down camera right into the side there. I do feel good for taking time off. You feel well there. You go heavy. Where we started on this cable. At the end of the session, bicep triceps. I'm going to do bicep curls with the bar, lying back. So even though it would be pulling with the back anyway, not the front. So obviously your back supports the movement, not the abs. I just want to lie down anyway to support myself so I can't move through here, even though I wouldn't be doing anyway. And then the triceps, I'm going to come from the floor, come back again. So it's a nice easy session. I feel fucking awesome for training. So if anyone is in this same position, move, do stuff. The more you do, the more you'll be able to do. Just within reason, be aware of how you feel. All these exercises are not affecting it at all because they put no pressure through here. There's no movement through the abdomen. Everything's fixed. Most of the time I was in hip flexion like this. This is hip flexion. So if I'm doing a line, a sit down hamstring curl, leg extension, abductor, adductor, I'm in hip flexion the whole time. So then there's no pressure in this area. Meaning it's not under stress. So why can't I train? This idea that I couldn't train. You're not allowed to train, you've had surgery. Only if it's aggravating surgery is it stupid. If it's stuff like this, that's not causing any issue whatsoever, why take more time off and feel shit and not do something that I love so much and makes me feel fantastic just because I've had surgery and that's the common general rule. You know how you feel, I know how I feel, I can see this, so no one else even helping me could give me the same direction. I can see if it's hurt or not and if it feels okay. Go light to start with, go heavier later on, if it feels good. It's that simple. And just be sensible, like with anything. Recovering from anything, you've got to be sensible. And not have your ego take over. First time I've laid back like that in 2 weeks. couldn't lie fully back. It was the hyper-extension. Extension is actually not too bad at the minute. Hyper-extension was past, it would be vertical, is what's caused an issue. But it feels tight there. Not painful, just tight. So massive progression on the last few days. And it's just showed by moving what a massive difference it's made. So I say, first time I got to sleep in bed last night in 2 weeks, actually sleep normally in bed. So progress going forward. One excited. I feel buzzing. Training was absolutely awesome. Although it wasn't as good as the sessions as normal, my strength was actually up on some of the things. I actually genuinely was a bit stronger because I was so burnt out before I went away. I needed that deload anyway. So I've now had 15 days off. And to be fair, the first 7 was actually really needed for my body anyway, not for the fact I had the operation done. So if you are going to get something like this done, blast yourself first and then you'll need a rest. So I was recovered and I went in the gym, felt amazing. I feel so much better now. I've got so much more movement back now. I feel a tiny little bit from that last stitch, but that's fucking pretty much gone. So much more mobility through the skin. It just feels a little bit tight. So I am fucking buzzing to be almost back to normal. We're getting there. But they sort of said that's the fastest recovery that I've seen. Everyone's like, you need at least 4 weeks off the gym. Well, I've had 15 days, including the fact I didn't train since the Tuesday. Operation was Friday, so it's 11 days post-op today. And I slept in my bed last night because I was sleeping on the sofa and I've just not really slept very well for days. And after through I was like, do you know what, fuck this, I'm going to bed. And I actually went to my own bed and slept as I would do normally in a normal position, stretched out. So another massive step forward. And then if I'm sleeping better, I'm recovering better anyway. So everything starts to roll forwards. The more you do, the more you can do. So you've got to stick with this on the recovery for. You've got to stick with it on the recovery process. So we're getting there. Hey, I can fucking lean and doesn't hang. I was shaving, but I wanted to record because this is the fucking weirdest thing I've ever gone with. Look, I cannot feel that at all until it gets to here. Can't feel it. That is horrible. Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. You know when you've been to the dentist and they numb your mouth and then you like chew your tongue. You know, like I can feel my tongue's there, but I can't actually feel the bite. And you're in a bite and it hurting your tongue. That's what that feels like. And that's what the surgeon was saying. For 6 months, be very careful because you won't be able to feel it because the nerves obviously been detached and they have to reattach. So all this area is numb. This is starting to come back. Obviously the inflammation has gone down massively. There's still a little bit. And down the side, I'm hoping that's inflammation. Fucking better be. But it's definitely better. I think it's a lot of edema because where the course has like two, there's like lines and that's exactly there. And there's another one higher up. Hoping that's what it is. But the reason I'm shaving by the way is because it's itchy as shit. So if anyone, hairy, you have to trim all this, get rid of it all. I use one of these instead of clean razor. I use one of those on my little bits because it gets rid of the razor. So I use this. Feels better. But it's just fucking weird. But I've got a belly button I can actually see. And then this obviously is still inflamed here. Which feels dead weird because that obviously was this bit where it's like a nothing at all was up to there and ran right around here. So that feels weird, but like I said, this I'm not feeling it. It's like okay, I can feel there a bit. This is still slightly numb. This is weird. 2 weeks post-op though. So I taught spin. I had no intention of getting on the bike, but I decided to do it anyway. And literally, to be fair, I got on with everyone sat in front of me because I felt like a dick when I stood there and 2 classes back to back. So I was like, right, I'll get on. And I thought, do you know what? I don't feel any discomfort. Never mind pain. There was no discomfort at all. So it was absolutely fine. And then there's this idea that no, you shouldn't be doing it. Or, yeah, generally most people aren't at a stage where they could do at just over 2 weeks, 15 days. But if I'm able to, why not? That makes no sense. If I'm able to do it, then do it. The more you can do, then the faster you're going to recover. So I did the spin class, absolutely fine. Just 80% what I would do normally. Didn't push myself to max. And then did the class after it, and obviously just moved around. I kind of demonstrated the exercises, but then just even using my muscles, getting body moving has helped me move more. But the tape has sweated off. They put medical tape over, as you saw in the videos earlier. But
it was meant to be on for 3 weeks and I was supposed to take it off. And then I was like, feels a bit like a tingling sensation because I've obviously got sweat on the scar. And then when I've looked, the tape's like half stuck on. So let's see what it looks like because we may as well see what the scar looks like now. Amy, do you want to see what the scar looks like?
Yeah.
She's clearly not asked. Right. I had this one actually. I put a neoprene belt on to train because the corset, obviously, if I get that covered in sweat, then I've got it covered in sweat. Whereas this is obviously meant to train in, and it's a bit more supportive. It's a bit harder, so that then just kind of protected me more, and I felt a bit more secure. No, I've not seen the scar, have I?
I don't know.
No, I've not seen it.
I don't know.
So you just put tape straight over it. I never saw it.
Oh.
Let's have a see.
Wow, it's very flat.
Just getting there now. Especially as a train, that's
Is it enough?
Yeah, quite.
You've got to.
Yeah, it's fucking like half off. It's not really on, it's dirty now, isn't it? That was like stuck on tight, it's barely even stuck on now. But at least it won't pull the hairs so much as it comes off. Bastard.
Ooh.
I should have pulled this way. Pull with the hair, not against the hair. Fucker. It's a nasty scar, ain't it?
But we're gonna have to be careful there. There. That looks a little bit infected.
Well, this one, but then I couldn't clean it, could I? Because it's got blue tape over it, so it's better actually to clean
it.
it.
A little bit there as well.
Yeah. Whereas now I can actually keep it clean properly. So there we go. That looks weird. That better match up the difference, because obviously the skin had no fat cells up to here, didn't it? All the way to
Yeah,
there.
but it'll flatten anyway.
Fucking better, because I think it's still that's.
You're not even 2 weeks post surgery yet.
But it was weird yesterday because I fucking shaved the hair here, and it was just like you can't feel it, and you can see the razor, and then you feel it here, and you can't feel it going back. It's well weird, well weird.
It looks so weird.
It feels weird.
It looks weird being flat.
So it's still well like retentive, fluid retentive on the side. But at least I can get in the shower and clean it proper now. Okay, so 2 weeks post-op, and I'm keeping this corset on religiously, day and night. Apart from obviously the odd time of the day, I take it off like this just to breathe. But trying to keep that compressed now as much as possible. So let's see where we're at. Also, obviously the tape came off the other day, so I put the cream on, just to help protect it. It's very itchy to take that off as well. So it's starting to rub, that's why I had to put something over the top, so my top's not rubbing on it because it was a bit red after the weekend, but that's definitely coming down. Definitely coming down. Feels a lot flatter, and still getting sensation back, still relatively numb through my back. Just a bit mad. This is still obviously really numb. This bit, pretty much back to normal, feels it. I think but it's very hard because they're saying the results will take up to 6 months, but then your body fat can fluctuate in 6 months. So we can't see exactly, okay, this is pre, this is post, this is 2 weeks post, it's come down, but in 6 months time I could gain loads of body fat again, so we'll have to see. I mean, you've got to kind of gauge it out, and obviously things will change. You've got to try and at least maintain the same level of body fat to see, but then I also could get leaner as well. So, who knows? It's definitely coming down. Positive. Positive.